97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV, Merrimack Valley, Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And good evening, and welcome to another version of the new Open Mic program. I'm Bill Masek, and Bill Ellis isn't here tonight, but Sharon Chouinard is here, my friend, long-term friend and cohort of sorts, right?
Employee.
A former employee, yes. She's a radio person, so she understands what we're doing here tonight. And we are doing an open mic program, which means it's really open lines. So we'd like to hear from you. If you have an opportunity to get to the phone, or just pull your phone out of your pocket if you're handling a cell phone, 978-374-1900 is the number to call. We have open lines and open topics for the first hour. In our second hour, our guest is going to be attorney Paul Magliocchetti, who is a member of the school committee, and also coming in to talk about, well, I'm not going to say what he's coming in. We'll save it as a surprise, but kind of a very interesting, timely topic that Paul is coming in to talk about. And I'm sure we can talk about the school committee, too. And we should talk about schools this hour because of all that went on down in Florida, unfortunately, and maybe get some opinion from some of the parents that have kids in schools in our area. And we are on in Haverhill, but also on in other communities, so it doesn't have to be just Haverhill. But I'd like to know what you think about what type of safety measures we either have that you're happy with, or safety measures that we should have that should get passed along. So give us a call, 978-374-1900. We are WHAV TV. That's right. You can also watch us on TV at WHAV.tv. You can also pull us up on Facebook. And some of the cable systems are also carrying our program, and we want to say thanks to all of them and the management for providing our program to their TV viewers. Usually in the Haverhill zone, it's channel 22, we believe. So we can never be sure, but we think we're on. Somebody said to me we weren't on, but I think that they were watching a couple of weeks ago that when Bill Ellis was on. So,
Yeah.
you look over there. Are we on?
We are.
We are. Okay. So, see, thank you very much, HC Media, for covering the program. And I've always been a big fan of HC Media. And, thank you for carrying this new open mic program. And I want to say that it's been quite an interesting week news-wise in a lot of areas, but I think probably that mass murdering that was going on at that school is the big news that everybody is still talking about. And, of course, then there's the sheriff down there, who I'm not sure how he is. But we have somebody already on the line, so...
Can I do one thing before we go to Brian?
Yeah, sure, Sharon. Go right
I
ahead.
just want to remind everybody that tonight's the last night to call in for birthday cake contest.
That's right.
And we will be drawing the name for a March birthday at the end, towards the end of the show, 7:45, 7:50 or so.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to turn your mic up a little bit because you have such a sweet, soft-spoken voice, okay? Try it now. Talk now.
Try it now?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Yeah, it's not the voice I had on the air when I first went on the air, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. Things change. Okay, so yes, we want birthday calls for March birthdays, which we're going to be drawing sometime near the end of the show.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I have such trouble with those crazy rules that I had to learn, but I do.
I think we finally have you to the point where you have it.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm still a little
Yes.
hesitant, though. 978-374-1900 is the number to call, and we're going to go to our first call right now on the new open mic program. Good evening.
Good evening, Bill. Good evening, Sharon.
Hi.
Hi,
how are you?
Brian.
Hi, Brian. Can you, in there, can you bring him up a little bit? He seems a little soft. Okay. All right. You there, Brian? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good, okay. All right. Well, what's on your mind this evening?
Well, a couple of things, but, I'm always a champion of the birthday/anniversary monthly drawing from LBD's second-generation Italian bakery, 140 South Main Street in the Bradford section of Haverhill.
Good. Thank you for saying all that.
I've got 2 entries in, and I have my fingers crossed.
Okay, yeah, and you got your fork out, right?
Yeah, right.
And your ice cream's in the freezer already.
Now, what I would be interested in knowing is others who call in to express their opinion on President Trump's suggestion to arm staff, faculty.
Yes, that goes along with the general question of how people feel about what happened and what maybe should be happening going forward. What kind of measures do we need to think about, even locally?
Yeah, well, thinking about them is one thing. Yeah, I know that Haverhill High School is pretty secure these days. But, when I heard the president say that on the air, it put me in mind of Archie Bunker.
Okay, going way back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think, Brian? What do you think?
I think it's a bad idea.
To have certain teachers trained and carry
Well, it's
firearms?
one thing to be trained, but I don't think that faculty should be armed.
Okay, well, then the training won't do them any good if they don't have a method to, take down
there's other
a
training
shooter.
that goes with it, but I'm just thinking that it's a bad idea.
I think there's got to be something. I don't like the idea very much myself either. I think there's got to be a better way and probably a more inclusive way to, but not put the kids through metal detectors coming into school. I think that we should be able to have better protection without having the kids have to be involved like they're going on an airplane every time they go in and out of the school. So, it's a tough question though, and you can probably never be, as much as I hate to say this and think it, but I think realistically, you can probably never be 100% safe.
No, that's true. I mean, just look at that 22-year-old girl at Winchester.
Oh, the one in the library.
Yeah.
That's another crazy incident.
Terrible. There was no way one could head that off. I'm just sorry that the whole thing took place.
No kidding. Have you heard anything about a relationship between those two? If they knew one another? I mean, anything?
I don't know if they knew one another. They didn't say that in the news.
No, all I heard is that they attended the same school for a couple of years.
I noticed that they put it that way, and it seemed rather deliberate to me that they did. They went to the same school.
But they didn't even say they were in the same year, the same class. They didn't.
Right.
They went to the same school, but maybe they weren't even in the same school at the same time. So that wasn't made clear.
He older, isn't he? Like 30-something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear his age.
I'm not sure.
So
either,
he might have been older. Who knows? He could have been but I don't know. Was he a teacher there? I don't know. I don't know anything. They don't tell us as much as they used to on this stuff. It takes a while. It doesn't come out early anymore. So it's 6:15, Brian. Anything else that you want to get in? Because I have to go to a break.
No, that's it. I want to make room for other callers.
Okay. Thank you for calling in and hopefully getting everything rolling along here this evening on the new Open Mic.
On the new Open Mic.
That's
Have a
it.
good evening.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay. Take care. All right. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. It is 6:16 right now, and you are listening to WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Masek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
For more in-depth coverage of the news, visit WHAV's website at whav.net.
Catch the wave!
On air or online, 97.9 WHAV serves you. Twice an hour weekdays, keep up to date with exclusive local news and weather. Find out about civic events on Community Spotlight every quarter hour. and better prepare with Wave Weather every 30 minutes. Mass Moments, Melinda's Garden Moment, Soundbeat, and Insight Daily complete the spectrum. Hear classic comedy and drama 7 nights a week at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Finally, a unique blend of rock and roll hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s round out the entertainment. Stay with 97.9 WHAV, the only Haverhill-based news source.
Community Spotlight.
The Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for its high school interviewing competition and seeks community members to serve as mock interviewers starting March 7th. Students from Haverhill High, Timberlane Regional, and Sanborn High will compete in 3 rounds of interviews, eventually narrowing the field to 5 finalists. Interviewers will be provided materials, questions, a grading scale, and of course, coffee. Interested volunteers can email Beverly Donovan at beverly@haverhillchamber.com. Someone you know is on WHAV. To submit or read your own nonprofit announcements, click on the Contact tab at whav.net or email news@whav.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Robin Fancher.
WHAV. Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back. Bill and Sharon tonight. That's right. Here on the new Open Mic program on WHAV 97.9 FM. And we also have something else to give away tonight. So to let our listeners know, we have a 110 Grill. That's the new place up on Upper Main Street.
Right.
110 Grill. Been there once. Was pretty good. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. And so people are going to want to win this. It's the 110 Grill in Haverhill, located on Route 125, which is at 1175 Main Street. It has an open kitchen, and it has horseshoe-shaped bar. It has a private dining room for functions, and it also has an outdoor patio with fire pits, and it's got really nice appearance. It's got like like gas lights flaming up.
And the copper.
Yeah, the copper
highlights.
setting. Yeah, it's a really nice looking place, and nice inside too. And the restaurant offers seasonal specials and gluten-free menu, and they are online at 110grill.com. That's 110grill, GRILL.com. So we have a $25 gift certificate, and we're going to come up with a question before this hour is over, and we'll give this away, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I
a
hate
plan.
to, unless you and I want to go after the show.
I'm not sure.
I don't think the boss would
no.
like that.
No.
That's not kosher.
Not kosher. Not kosher.
I know. But
Come on, I work in radio,
hey,
and
it's a thought, that's all. It's gone. 6:20 right now is the time, and we also are giving away the birthday cake for the month
from LBD's.
From LBD's, located in Bradford Square, and I think you get a 7-inch cake, and you can pick either vanilla or chocolate, right?
Correct.
And if what you have to do is call in your birthday or a friend or relative's birthday
Or anniversary.
During the month of March, right? They call in tonight for the month of March because we're giving it away as the March prize.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I got it. I'm getting it. All right. We have a slate being held up. Oh, okay.
Oh, so Mr. Ellis, being on location,
Mr. Ellis is on location.
is checking in with us.
In another state. Let's check in with him right now. Hello, Bill.
Well, good evening, Bill and Sharon. How are you this evening?
We're doing just fine.
I'm down here in Deerfield Beach, Florida, checking out the global warming situation, and I think it's true. It's about 75 degrees, a little overcast. I'm looking out at the ocean right now, and I do believe that there is a global warming thing taking place, at least here in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
At least it's warm there, right?
Yes, it is nice and warm.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. We were, around 50-ish today?
About 52, 55,
yeah.
thereabouts.
Unseasonably warm, because usually I think
see.
we're supposed to be at 41.
Oh.
I saw that over the weekend, around this time of year.
Wow, you're so astute.
So it's
Now, I picked up the package, the airline tickets that you gave me to come down here,
Yeah.
but there's no return ticket.
There's a reason for that.
Yes.
You want me to keep reporting it every Monday from now on?
Yeah, just keep calling in. Then the people won't have to look at you on the ones that are watching on TV
Oh,
or Facebook.
snap.
Did I say that
I
out
know.
loud?
You did say that
I said
out
that out
loud.
loud. Sorry, Bill. No offense
Oh.
meant.
Maybe you can get me like one of those cutout faces where I can just put it in front of me.
Yes, all right. We'll work on that. Yep.
I could be a different celebrity every week.
So what are you
There you go.
doing down there? You working or you recreational?
I'm involved with horse racing and harness racing.
Yeah.
And each year, what they call Harness Horsemen International, which is a conglomerate group of horse racing associations throughout the United States and Canada, meet down here to discuss the issues of racing and so forth.
Yeah.
And I'm down here representing Western New England Harness Horsemen's Association, which basically entails the state of New Hampshire and Vermont.
Okay. All right. Do you? How many stalls did you clean today?
I cleaned a couple of them. I did, and I got some stuff to bring back for you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, good.
Yeah, make sure that's checked luggage because your seatmate might not appreciate it.
Yes. Make sure
You
it's
think so?
wrapped in cellophane or something. Yes.
So, are you going to be the roving reporter on assignment for the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the?
I will do that. Yes, I will be able to do that for you.
All right.
To get a look, and there's a couple of nice young horses out there right now I've been following, and one of them is called Catholic Boy, and he shows a lot of promise.
Catholic boy, like the religion?
Yes.
Really?
Well, it'd be interesting with how much press coverage the horse will get with all the anti-Christian press that's been out in the media in the past few years.
Right. Is there another horse running called Satan?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be something, huh?
Lucifer's Lover.
Yeah.
That would be a nice name.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Have you ever named horses? You ever had that opportunity?
I actually have named horses. There was a lady her name was Ceil Sullivan, Ceil Sullivan, very Irish name.
Yeah.
And they had a little filly, and they were looking for a name. And I said, why don't you give the horses the name Ceil, Ceil, with a kiss? So Ceil with a kiss.
All right, that's nice. Because
They-
there's some
that's
really
creative.
creative thoughts that
Yeah.
goes in that to the naming of horses.
And then there was a year ago, I helped assist somebody, a husband and wife, who lost their son. He was about 11 years old to cancer. And the little boy loved going to harness racing, especially up the Cumberland Fair in Maine, which I'm associated with.
Yeah.
And so we had a young colt who will be racing in the next year, named after the little boy. It's called Jake G's Champion.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Sweet.
Nice,
looking
good
forward
story.
to seeing the horse
Both of them
race.
good stories. Thanks, Bill. So what do you? How long are you down there for?
I will be back Wednesday night.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So
but the weather's good. And
weather's absolutely beautiful down here.
yeah. I've
I'm
never.
looking at up at the moon, which is about 3/4 full, and looking out at the ocean right now as we speak. And if I really strain, I can see Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Spain.
I'm telling you, it's a clear night.
Yeah, well, that's nice. I enjoy it while you're there, and come on back to New England. We got maybe a storm coming in for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Could be a rough weekend.
What is the weatherman talking about? That somebody else from New England mentioned that.
Well, they're not. You know how they kind of hedge, and
Yeah.
they're kind of in that hedging state right now. They're not telling you a lot. Just we could get slammed, or we may get nothing, but or something in the middle. You know what it's like.
You know, it's
being
interesting.
a weather.
That's a great job to have, being a weatherman. You can be wrong and still keep your job.
Right.
Right.
And they have all the computers and this model and the European model and they got all these different versions of what's going to happen, and none of them are 100% accurate. So
It never does come true all the time. I mean, you look at them sometimes, and there's 300 places it could end up.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
I know.
When
you
they show
see
like a hurricane
all the
coming.
lines that they show for some of the, the programs, but oh well. So we're living in New England though. So if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute.
Did you just create that line?
Yeah, I made that up.
Pretty novel.
Yeah, I made that up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean the only time you can be sure about the weather.
You're going to tell me about you wrote the Gettysburg Address also?
I did not. I thought you wrote that. I thought you told me you wrote it. Yeah,
I did, but I'm still trying to figure out what is the score.
Yeah, well, that's your problem. We're going to leave it at that. Bump. And yeah. So
Well, you kids enjoy yourself. Looking forward to seeing you real soon. Love you guys, and I'll be talking to you.
All right, thanks for the call, Bill. Enjoy the weather.
Right.
Have fun.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, that was nice of Bill to call in and take a little time to say hello and kind of make us feel like we're getting the bad weather and he's getting the good.
Good weather. Yeah, he's going to rub that in a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So.
But he's pretty reliable and pretty. You can count on him for.
He's
great
consistently.
coverage.
Yeah, he's consistently there. Yeah,
right.
He is.
The great coverage of the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Had him on.
He knows. The first year that I knew him, he told me who was going to win the Kentucky Derby.
And he was correct.
This guy that you're looking at didn't bet it, and he was 100% correct. That horse came in. But I'm not a big gambler anyway, so.
No.
But it's interesting to know that he knows that stuff, and he does have a pretty good eye for who should win, and I don't know how he knows that, but anyway, he does a good job. So when we get closer to the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont Stakes, he will be making predictions. And if anybody wants to play those, then they can. But we bear no responsibility for your loss.
There we go.
Okay. Hey, you know what? We're at 6:29 right now, so I think we should take a break and have a word from some of our underwriting sponsors. Partners, yeah, here at the WHAV nonprofit. We need assistance. People, people that sponsor or underwrite our show and that help keep it on the air. Because if we run out of money, lights go out.
Yeah.
Power goes off. No more
Power
station.
goes off, no more station.
So we need people to just make a small contribution. It's a membership, as it's called, and they can do that online. And it's really helpful because there's so many people out there listening that are just members. Just make a small contribution, and it's fully tax deductible.
Yes, that is one thing.
So it's all good stuff.
WHAV is a 501c3.
And we're fortunate to have WHAV back on the air at 97.9 FM, and we want to keep it there, right?
Well, that's the goal.
That's right. That's why we're volunteering on Monday night.
This is true.
Right? So,
of course, I volunteered for half my radio life.
You do, because you've been in the on the nonprofit side, so you get it quite well and do it very well. All right, it is now 6:30, the official time to take the break. So we chatted right through that last minute.
That's a good thing.
That's because we're radio professionals, right? Okay. On that note, we are the new Open Mic program. I'm Bill Masick. Sharon Chouinard is with me this evening. Paul Magliocchetti is coming in for the 7 o'clock hour to be our guest, and it's right here at WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Masick and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
It's 6:32.
97.9 FM, WHAV.
Catch the wave!
Hi, it's Gary LaPierre. I worked for WHAV. It was brief. Long story. Tell you sometime. Anyway, become a WHAV member or renew your membership now. Just visit whav.net and click on the membership tab.
Wave weather!
Here's the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Tonight clear, low around 30, light west winds. On Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 50, low 35. And the outlook for Wednesday, increasing late-day cloudiness with a chance of isolated showers developing at night. High 57, low 37. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And thank you for joining the new Open Mic program on this Monday night. You know, I have a thing I was reading. It's very interesting, and it'll be interesting to everybody because it comes from the American Journal of Physiology, and it's about working out. And what it was is they did a 3-month study, and the people who they could choose either 30 or 60 minutes. The catch being if you chose 30 minutes, then you were going to do a little bit more strenuous exercise. Yeah. And it was only 3 days a week for the study. So, you know, most people could handle that. And here's what happened. After 3 months, the people who exercised an hour a day lost 6 pounds.
It's not bad.
Not bad after 3 months and just 3 days a week. But, get this, those who exercised only 30 minutes a day lost 8 pounds on average. So they lost 33% more weight, but only working out half the time, but a little bit more rigorously, a little more, you know, maybe on the treadmill it went a little faster or whatever it was. We don't have the details. But I think that's really interesting. So I've convinced myself I will never work out more than 30 minutes. Right?
Well, I mean,
I do spend my share of time at times. You know, like in the spring, usually I get going. And
yeah, I know. I still have some of your purple pens.
Yeah, thanks. And what do you have to bring that up for? and so anyway, now you got me off track. So you totally just flushed my mind. So I think
there are different exercise places around. I mean, there was one of the people that I've worked with was, as a client, was in Leominster, was Curves.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was a little circuit, and it was basically you'd come in, and in a half hour you were done with your circuit, and it was never more than like 2 or 3 minutes per piece of equipment that you did.
Right.
And you just went around to each one, followed the instructions, and did it. And some people went every day, some people went twice a day, some people went twice a week, and but everybody was successful at that rate.
Yeah. So this was 3 times a week, but it was, you know, that's just something of interest, and I'll probably always have that in the back of my mind when I am working out, because it's you don't want to overdo, because you know the other thing is I think if you build muscle has weight. So I've heard that sometimes like you know those kind of like all the beefcake stuff that certain people do. And they get those muscles, you know, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger and a few other people. But
the former governor of Minnesota there.
Oh, Jesse.
Yes.
Jesse Ventura. Yeah. He was but you know what? I want to talk about that. Is Gronkowski coming back to the Patriots? Did you hear what his offers were to not go back?
No, I've been kind of ignoring
I know one
that.
of them was Sylvester Stallone, and there was another famous Hollywood kind of guy that's trying to talk him into being the next superhero, that he would be a perfect specimen to be, you know, like Arnold was, you know. And so I guess the question is, will Gronk be back?
No.
So anyway, he just did redo his contract with the Pats for 4 years, but maybe he has an out somewhere. You know, maybe, I mean, the guy unfortunately has been broken and battered, even though he's large size.
Well, that's part of
he breaks like fine china. You know, I mean, when he goes down, sometimes I cringe, going, "Oh, will he get up?" But he does. He's done pretty good this year, but he did get hurt. and he's only 28 years old.
Is that how old he is?
Yeah, I thought he was a little older than that, but he's been only, I think he's been playing 8 years, but so he's like 29 by now. But he's still young, and they're saying that he could make a lot more money in Hollywood doing movies, where they'll have stand-ins.
I was going to say they'll have stuntmen doing
stuntmen doing
things for him.
So he won't even get hit.
Stunt doubles.
Yes, stunt double. That'd be hard to find though. But the other thing, if he doesn't do that, and I guess he made $2 million last year, making appearances at the World Wrestling Federation.
Right.
Big,
at the different
big
events.
shows. Yeah, he gets paid to show up and just jump in the ring and jump around.
And be silly.
Yeah. So, he's got some options. I mean, I'm happy for him that but and he's probably saying, do I want to end up, hurt to the point that I'm in a wheelchair or something, from playing professional football, where I can do these other entertainment things.
Right.
So, anyway, it'll be interesting. I hope he comes back to play football. That's where I'd like to see him, but I don't want him to get hurt. But
yeah, that's true, because you are a true Patriots fan.
I am a Patriots fan, yeah.
Yep.
I'm a smart Patriots fan. When I go out of New England, when I'm traveling or anything, the Patriots hat and the Red Sox hats stay home.
This is true.
Well,
I used to get in trouble in Los Angeles because I drove through Dodger Stadium every day to get to work.
Yeah.
And I always had convertibles, and I had long hair.
Yeah.
So I always had a baseball cap on.
Yeah.
And it was either the Patriots or the Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd get stuck in traffic going through, and
Well, I found out, because I didn't get that way without having experiences of wearing Patriots or Red Sox hats out of the New England area. And, people will comment, and they'll sometimes be a little rude or crass about what they think of my team.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what can I tell you? All right, so that's where we're at. Now, let me also say that we would love to have your calls at 978-374-1900, because this is the open mic, meaning we are also the open lines to call into the open mic program. Bill Masick here and Sharon Chouinard. We are talking about anything this hour. It's an open hour, and we'd love to hear some of your thoughts on both the school shooting in Florida and how you feel about protection for the school in which your child may be in, or your grandchild. But also, I think that we should bring up this topic. It was in the news today. And the Cannabis Control Commission is not sure that they're going to have their act together here in Massachusetts for recreational marijuana for July 1st. So Haverhill has already, as many of the surrounding community have, taken the precautionary step of having a moratorium for 6 months beyond the date
July
that they
1st.
promulgate their regulations, which would be July 1st according to plan. But they may kick it off. So we're 6 months. If they kick it off for another 3 months, it'll be 6 months after that before we in Haverhill or some of the surrounding communities that also have moratoriums are going to be involved at all with recreational marijuana. The other thing is, I believe Methuen and Lawrence and either Andover and North Andover or one of those two communities and some of the other surrounding communities did not vote in favor, over 50% in favor of recreational marijuana. But believe it or not, Haverhill did. So because of that, there's a different set of regulations that Haverhill will have to follow, because the voters of Haverhill voted in favor, over 50%, for recreational marijuana. So that puts other requirements and strings on Haverhill. We can't just say we don't want recreational marijuana in our city, as Methuen and Lawrence can, because they were under 50% in their vote tally in favor of recreational marijuana.
But I remember that 50% was an important number for the votes to get to,
Right.
because of those rules exactly.
Right, but there's at least a feeling out there that I've had and heard from some people, is that if they had to vote it over, it might be different, but I'm not sure of that. And it would cost Haverhill upwards to about $30,000 because it has to go back to a ballot now, another ballot question to be overturned. So, the feeling is that the people that voted in favor of it will come out again, and they'll vote. That you'll get a similar result.
You might get a higher percentage voting for it.
You might. But I think if the question was a little different, would you like it if it were in your neighborhood? I think that's what people are getting concerned about. But that's going to be worked on. And I know that in the same way that I think the best place in town was chosen for the medical marijuana overlay zone, I think that the same thing will happen for the recreational pot retailers, that they're going to be strategically placed so that they're not going to be disruptive, and they can't be too close to a school anyway. It's very similar to what alcohol establishments have to follow. So they are putting those. I've read, and they've already come down with their draft rules. So it's only about 119 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not simple stuff that it's just this, and you're all set. So there's a lot of things to know and to have to deal with, but that's the way it works today, right? Yep. So anyway, that'll be interesting. If anybody wants to comment on that, it's always good to hear your opinion. Don't just be yelling in the kitchen. Pick up the phone and give us a call, 978-374-1900. We are the Open Mic program, and it's Bill Masick and Sharon tonight. Sharon Chouinard, my old friend, my old co-worker and operations manager, or radio aficionado who knows a lot about. She should. Do you want to tell your story?
What?
You've been in the radio game most of your life. You've done engineering. You've done pretty much all the different job responsibilities, and you've also done it in other countries. You want to talk about that?
Oh, my fun AFRTS story.
Go ahead.
I was living in Germany, and a friend of mine was working for Armed Forces Radio, and I was in Bavaria, and he was up in further north, and we went to visit him. And I was in the car that I was going to be buying, and I drove that up and parked it at the Kaserne in Frankfurt. Parked it outside. The Kaserne is the compound that all of the military lived on and shopped on and whatnot, although I didn't. I lived 20 kilometers outside of Augsburg, and nobody in town spoke English, so it was kind of an interesting 6 years I was there. But it was back in the day when we were not friends with Libya, and we had bombed Libya, and they decided they were going to blow up cars at a military base in Germany, and
nice.
There I am running across the street, pulling camera cables and carrying a 50-pound video pack on my shoulder, because of course that was when we had huge cameras and we used cassette tapes, and I don't mean the little ones, I mean VHS and bigger. And my car was gone.
And I get a feeling you always had nice cars, though. Convertibles, little sports cars.
No, that was
something else.
That was something else, yeah.
All right. Well, and just in time, it's quarter of. Time for another word from our underwriters right here at WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Masick and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
Broadcasting on the Armstrong FM system, this is 97.9 WHAV.
Rock, roll, rock, roll.
Hi, it's Dave Mack, and this Saturday on the Rock and Roll Oldies Party, our spotlight artist is Tommy Rowe. Dizzy, Sweet Pea, Hooray for Hazel, Jam Up and Jelly Tight, and more. Our top 5 at 5 is from this weekend in 1967, and the Rolling Stones are atop the charts. The party begins this Saturday at 3 here on the Wave, 97.9 WHAV.
Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Yes.
All right, we are back.
We are.
Yes.
So
Bill and Sharon tonight. Bill Masek and Sharon Chouinard here on the Open Mic program on WHAV. We are the new Open Mic, and we are at 978-374-1900 if you want to call in. We got stuff to give away. And
we do.
Let's do it now.
So the first thing is, if you have someone in your family celebrating birthday or anniversary in the month of March, and you haven't already entered, give us a call and leave their name and give the rest of their information to Chris, our wonderful producer, and we will be
drawing. Draw that.
We'll draw that at the end of the program. Also, we have
110 grill certificate.
110 grill certificate.
$25.
$25 for the 110 grill.
Yeah.
7th caller, and Chris will keep count, sort of.
Yeah, we're going to take the 7th caller. And it's the 110 Grill located on Route 125 at 1175 Main Street. You know, it's they've been there a while, not too long though. They're a new restaurant, but they have other places.
I was going to say, it's one of my cousin's favorite places to go is the 110 in Hopkinton.
In Hopkinton, so you know they have I think at least 6 or 8 other places. They're a growing, nice restaurant.
Leominster, Hudson.
Good variety, yeah, and
a couple of Westford, I think.
And you know they have this. They give you this bread at the beginning, like a roll, and they got butter that they've got like garlic and flavoring in it. That's a reason enough just to go back for that little appetizer.
The little appetizer.
Yeah. So anyway, make sure you get that if you go in. So they have an open kitchen. They have a horseshoe-shaped bar. They have private dining room for functions, and they also have outdoor patio with fire pits. And the restaurant offers seasonal specials and gluten-free menus, which is important to certain people. And they are online at 110 Grill. That's 110grill.com. So 7th caller, 978-374. 1-900. We're not going to go through any questions or anything like that because you're just going to Google them and know the answer anyway.
Right.
Right? So we might as well just take the caller of chance. Who's the 7th caller tonight to win this great gift certificate to the 110 Grill on 1175 Main Street in Haverhill, Upper Main Street, right going up towards New Hampshire.
Going right towards New Hampshire.
Right, yes. All right, we have some breaking news. That I need to let you know about. This is very interesting. For the second time in about 8 months, teachers Monday at Silver Hill Horace Mann Charter School rejected conversion to an innovation school. The staff voted 33-1 in favor of adopting the innovation model, a hybrid between district. Wait a minute, he said they voted it down, didn't they? Did they vote for it or against it? Second time teachers so rejected. But then it says staff voted against to 1. 33 against to 1 vote in favor of adopting the. I'm trying to read here first time. I read cold and my eyes sometimes jump ahead. It's it's a hybrid between a district-owned charter school and a standard public school. Haverhill Education Association President Lisa Begley summed up the vote. And actually, that's where there's a cut. This is going to be in the news, or it's probably already on a special report on the online news that WHAV provides, which everybody should get and read because it really covers the city well and first with a lot of stories. So I can't say enough about what's going on here at WHAV.
So we do have Jerry on hold, I believe. We still
Jerry's
have Jerry
on hold. Jerry, my buddy Jerry? Jerry's on hold. All right, let's see if you're there. Hey, Jerry!
Yes, good evening, Bill, and good evening, Sharon.
Good evening, Jerry. We're well.
I have to make sure that I get my birthday in March because I'll be 90 in April the 15th.
All right.
All right.
We'll start calling in next week.
I got to make sure that I get it in in March. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
You call in March if you have an April birthday.
Okay. I'll call in March.
Yeah. So call next week, Jerry, and we'll get you in the basket.
Yeah. Tell me something about the. Well, I wanted to. One subject is it's been always. It's been a concern of mine for a number of years. Is the gun issue and what's going on in the United States, and I think there has to be kind of a balanced program. But at the top of the priority list is I feel that they have to, that they have to ban the use of the automatic rifles. I thought hunting was kind of a sport. The poor deer out there, what does he or she have to defend with themselves with when get away after one shot? I mean, we're talking about a gun that can fire 50 or 60 rounds in a matter of a minute?
Yeah, if not quicker.
And I think you have to have an education. They have to be vetted psychology. It's got to be a balanced program of a number of issues. But right on the priority list, Bill, I think that they've got to ban. They've got to ban these automatic rifles. And if you notice that Trump has not said one word about banning of certain arms. And I was just wondering, I'd love to know, maybe somebody can look it up, one of your listeners, what his campaign contribution list shows. Does it show that he got a sizable stipend from the American Rifle Association or what?
Well, I don't know that, Jerry, but the NRA supposedly doesn't want anything banned, so anything being proposed as a ban.
You're right.
But Trump is for banning the bump stock, which was used in the Las Vegas massacre out there when they were shooting But I guess the bump stock also makes the gun somewhat hard to hit the target in a sense. It's rapid fire, but it's not precise shooting.
It's not precise at all.
So when you're shooting into thousands of people in a crowd,
they put some type of a microchip or something into these guns so that they can trace them, because you can go to a gun show and you don't know who had the gun before, or who used it, or whether it was involved in any kind of a crime or anything before. Right. But now I talked to the chief of the police in Methuen about it, and he said, no. He says every gun had a serial number of something embedded, and that all they have to do is identify that, and the Tobacco and Firearms has a record of who the original owner was. So
right.
That's a good thing. That's a plus.
Right. It's just a tough one, and it's so multifaceted with problems and what one action does, how it infringes on somebody else, or, as you say, on hunters. Hunters do have
things like that.
Remember when the deer were getting so populated that they were like, there wasn't enough food for them,
into the backyards for people.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Why? Because of all the development around in Haverhill and Methuen. Look at Methuen is up to over 10%, developed, and I've heard complaints from women. A woman in over near Emerald Pines, which is a big development, where the deers come in and they browse on the on the rose bushes and things like that, because they're just the right height.
Yeah.
They stand.
Right.
And they can chew them all up.
Right, they're looking for food.
The reason for that is because they've lost their regular habitat.
Right.
You know?
Yep, they get moved around through the development. Hey, Jerry, I got to let you go because we have to get to our caller who won the 110 grill certificate, and then we're going to break for top of the hour news. So we'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we are going to go to our winner, our caller number 7, who is on the line. Hello, caller. Are you there?
I'm here. How you doing, Bill?
I'm good. Happy.
Hey, yeah.
Congratulations.
Lucky 7, thanks. I just got in and I heard it. I thought you guys were going to come up with a trivia, and I said, well, number 7, I said, I think I'm going to be lucky tonight.
Well, you are lucky tonight. All right, for the listeners, we are talking to, what's your name?
Rod.
Okay.
19th Ave.
All right, I know that. But, the people listening don't all know your voice.
You know what I thought you were going to ask? I really thought you were going to, because I know you have been asking sports trivia. I really thought you were going to ask, the day, because I was reading the Jack Hamilton story. Jack died, and I thought you were going to ask, what day did Tony Conigliaro get beaned?
Oh, yeah, that would have been a good question.
August 18th, and that was my grandfather's birthday.
Oh, so you would have won anyway. So even if we had asked that, you would have won because you knew it. So,
wow.
All right. Well, you have a you have a 110 grill certificate for $25. Have you been there yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, you're going to enjoy it. It's a pretty good place. Yeah.
And you got a nice host with you today.
Yes, Sharon is a very nice person.
Thanks, Rod.
Long time listener, long time caller, and I did have a trivia, but.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
we got a couple of minutes left.
Chris, about a month ago, when we used to give away gift certificates for Kimball Tavern.
I remember.
So you got the baseball cards over there.
Yes, we do. There are a bunch of baseball cards hanging around. So.
I'll come up with that trivia. I forgot it.
All right. We'll be giving those away during baseball season, which isn't too far away.
All right.
Oh, please. I already had my first baseball game on the air this weekend.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
Are you a Haverhill girl?
No, actually.
But she is now.
I am now, yes.
No, where? From where?
I grew up in Westboro, so
yeah.
not too far away.
No, the boy played hockey down around there, Westboro, Northboro.
Yeah, and right now we have, we used to have the Westboro Speedway, and now we have our own 18-year-old that's in the Xfinity series running, Kaz Gralla.
That's a hotbed for hockey down there, too.
It is, yes. My cousin's children are crazed. They're 4 and 5, and they skate better than any of the cousins ever did. So yeah.
Right. Well, I hate to stop you people, but we are coming up on the hour. But thank you. Thanks for calling in. Congratulations.
Thanks, Rod.
And we'll talk to you again soon.
Have a great dinner.
Thanks.
Say hi
All
to
right.
Paul.
All right.
Bye-bye.
This is the new Open Mic program, only on Monday nights right here at WHAV 97.9 FM.
Thank you.
Open Mic!
Bill Masek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
It's 7 o'clock.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Here's what's happening in local news. This week's city council meeting will feel very much like the movie Groundhog Day. Councilors will be faced with several projects that they thought they had already decided. That includes a lease agreement for Haverhill District Court, a multi-unit housing project on Harrison Street, and land taking for a road improvement project on Broadway. Councilors will be asked to approve a 6-month lease extension to the Massachusetts Trial Court for space on the second floor of Haverhill City Hall. The lease, which brings with it a $2,000 monthly payment, was to end February 28th. If councilors approve, it will continue at least until August 31st and result in a total of $12,000 in rent payments. The extension is needed because the rehab of the Haverhill District Court building on Ginty Boulevard is not yet complete. Although they won't hear the case until April, the attorney for Harrison Street Investments will submit a request for a special permit to build a 17-unit multifamily dwelling on the site of the former St. Gregory and St. James schools. Last year, Common Ground Development, a nonprofit housing agency in Lowell, had proposed a 21-unit, two-building development, which failed to win council approval based on the density of the neighborhood and fears of parking and traffic gridlock. The proposal to be submitted this week includes only one building and 2 on-site parking spaces for each unit. An action that councilors took April 17th will come before them again at the request of City Solicitor William Cox. Cox has concerns about the recording of land takings and easements related to the pedestrian and traffic improvements on Broadway from Research Drive to Silver Birch Lane. 3 teenagers, including one from Haverhill, were charged with home invasion, armed robbery while masked, and other charges after an Andover man and woman were awakened at their home early Thursday morning and robbed at gunpoint. Lucas Hill of Haverhill, Tyler Runge of Andover, and Ashley Frieda of Saugus, all 18 years old, were charged by Andover police with home invasion, armed robbery while masked, malicious destruction over $250, larceny over $250, carrying a dangerous weapon, and possession of an electric stun gun, according to Police Chief Patrick Keefe in a statement released on Friday. This appears to be an isolated incident, and there is no threat to the public, Keefe said. Police were alerted when the department got a 911 hang-up call about 3:30 a.m. from a home on Regency Ridge. Police said dispatchers attempted to call back, but the line was abruptly disconnected. Upon arriving at the home, an officer noticed taillights heading away from the house toward the end of the road's cul-de-sac, but spoke first with the homeowners, described as visibly shaken. The couple said they were awoken by loud banging noises. When the man opened the door, one of the 2 male teens pointed a gun at him and demanded money, while another stood by in the home's garage. It was later determined by police the female teenager was also in the home. Police tracked a car, finding it driven by the Haverhill teen with Runge and Frieda as passengers. Police seized 2 knives, a mask, and 2 guns, an airsoft gun and what appeared to be a machine pistol. Haverhill police plan to participate in May's Police Unity Tour, supporting families of fallen officers. With the motto, "We ride for those that died," Haverhill officers will ride 4 days from northern New Jersey to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. The ride raises money to support the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial and Museum and pays for programs to support families of fallen officers. The Police Unity Tour was organized by Florham, New Jersey police officer Patrick Montuori in May 1997 to bring public awareness of police who've died in the line of duty and to honor their sacrifices. There are now 9 chapters with nearly 2,500 members nationally who make the trip every year. Montuori later retired as Florham's police chief. Donations may be made by clicking on the story at whav.net. The Alumni Office of Northern Essex Community College is seeking nominations for the 2018 Outstanding Alumni Award, which recognizes a graduate who has achieved career-related success or lent their support to the college after graduation. This year's recipient will join past award winners Jason Morey from the class of 2006, who serves as Vice President of Operations at the COPD Foundation, and 1994 graduate Wendy Estrella of Lawrence's Estrella Law Offices. The award will be presented at the school's commencement May 19th. Nominations are accepted through April 6th, and submission forms are available on the Northern Essex website or by contacting Lindsay Graham at alumni@necc.mass.edu. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source. There's always more at whav.net. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. Russia's president has ordered a daily humanitarian pause in fighting in the eastern Ghouta enclave in Syria. In the U.S., protesters have again descended on Florida's capital to push for tighter gun control legislation. And the Weinstein Company says it will file for bankruptcy after a deal for the sale of the troubled movie studio fell apart.
Wave weather.
Here's the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Tonight, clear, low around 30, light west winds. On Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 50, low 35. And the outlook for Wednesday, increasing late-day cloudiness with a chance of isolated showers developing at night, high 57, low 37. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn, your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Are you listening to WHAV on cable television? If so, join WHAV in thanking the board, staff, and members of your local public access channel. .97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV, Merrimack Valley. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the new Open Mic program. I'm Bill Masek, and my guest this hour is attorney and school committeeman, and you are what, the vice chair now? The new title.
The vice chairman, yes, we cleaned that up.
Yes, they got it squared away finally. Paul Magliocchetti.
Thank you very much.
How are you? Thanks for coming on to the program.
Thank you for having me here.
And we're going to get into what you really came in to speak about, but first we have a call on hold, and it's regarding the birthday contest, and we do this as a regular weekly thing. People can call in birthdays. Tonight they're calling in for March birthdays. We're going to give away a cake at the end of this hour.
Fantastic.
If you're still around, we'll let you draw the name.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So we have somebody on the line who is calling. What's your name?
Yeah. Hi. This is Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
And who is the birthday person?
Well, actually, I have two wonderful guys' birthdays this month.
Oh.
My son Donald is going to be 33 on March 30th.
Okay. Donald, March 30th.
And I have a grandson, Jaden, who's going to be 10 on the 11th.
Nice. Okay, great. And I think Chris, our producer, has logged those names down for next month's drawing, and actually for tonight's drawing, because they're March birthdays, right?
Awesome.
Are those both March birthdays?
Yes, they are.
They are. Yeah. So those are going to be drawn in less than an hour. Before 8 o'clock, we will be drawing from our hat, and hopefully maybe one of yours will win. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Okay. Good night, Tammy.
Tammy, thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's something we do on a regular basis, and then we'll draw the birthday cake from Albie D's in Bradford Square.
Yep.
Great bakery. And the person will be able to go down with our certificate and get either a white or vanilla cake, 7-inch cake, and no cost at all.
My father loves that bakery. He goes there to get his fresh bread every day.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
There you go. So there's an endorsement
from Angelo Magliocchetti.
That's good. Okay. Okay. Let's get into what you actually wanted to come on the program and talk about, because it's a pretty important topic, something of interest to everybody and of concern to all the parents.
Yes.
So, and that is the flu.
Yes. I happened to be talking to Tim about some things a couple weeks ago, and at the time we had gotten the sad news about the youngster that had passed away. And, we all took that pretty seriously.
Absolutely.
And it kind of affected me, especially having a child in the schools. I think Jim Scully did an admirable job. He immediately went into action and contacted the custodians and told the entire staff, to scrub everything down. But one of the things I think that all the parents out there and all the families need to know is that the Centers for Disease Control and the Mass Department of Health, if you go to their websites, they give you some advice on these kinds of flu epidemics. Precautions you can take at home to kind of minimize the risk. And if your child is sick, everyone's better off if they get to stay home. I know it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm a parent myself. My wife and I both work every day. It's not always easy. But, it really is in the best interest of everyone involved. I mean, this flu strain has just been really, really bad.
Yeah, they also missed the boat a little bit on
the vaccine.
On the vaccine.
Yeah.
I heard last year they were about 30%, they thought, and this year they're only at about 10% effective.
Yeah, I mean, they do it statistically every year, so it's not a perfect science by any stretch.
Right.
And they tried to make the case that, something is better than nothing, so get the flu vaccine anyways.
Right.
But, like I said, I just wanted the public to know that the entire school committee, the superintendent, and the entire staff did everything they could to minimize the risk, to address the concerns of families. It's a tragedy that, we get this kind of notoriety of having the first flu death, I think, in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And my heart goes out to the family. I
Absolutely.
can only imagine what they've been going through. From all accounts, they're a very nice family, close-knit family, and if there's anything I can ever do, you can always reach out to me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Paul, for saying that and bringing the information forward.
Sure. Yeah, don't forget Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and also the Mass Department of Public Health. They have a lot of information on this recent flu vaccine, and I had asked Mr. Scully to put their links on the Haverhill Public School website because I think that was something that we could do.
That's great. That's great. Now, let me ask you, if a kid's like really obviously sick, not feeling well, what do you do with them in most of the schools? Do you send them home? The kids ever gets, hey, Johnny, we're going to call your parents.
We have an incredible nursing staff in the city of Haverhill. I can't say enough good things. I've had 3 kids come through the system in recent years. And, the second any child goes down to see the nurses, they're on alert. They know what they're looking for. They identify the issues. If there's a temperature or something like that, you get contacted. They ask you to come down. If for some reason you can't get there right away, they do have little cots in the rooms where the kids can lie down.
Right. I remember that even when I went to school. The nurse's room. And if a child was sent there, usually that child didn't come back to the class.
Yeah.
And they either stayed there if the parent wasn't available, but they took care of them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, the nurse was on a first-name basis with my youngest son, Lucas. He happened to be down there. He was a regular. If it wasn't for smacking his head in the playground, it was for, coming down with some kind of viral thing. So we used to get calls.
Has he outgrown that?
We were on speed dial.
Has he outgrown that?
Knock on wood, although this morning his throat was definitely acting up a little bit, so hopefully he'll make it through this.
Well, I think you do, his immunities will grow and increase.
Right. That's right.
And he'll probably be healthier than everybody when he is a few years old.
That's what we hope.
Yeah,
that's what we hope. We hope he's getting over that hump.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
So what else is going on in the school department?
We got this little thing called a superintendent search going on right now.
Right.
And that's taking up a lot of time. And just so the people out there know, the taxpayers and the families in the schools, everyone is taking this very seriously. And we had a great committee that interviewed, I think it was 9 candidates that they started with. And, they got it all the way down to 3.
Yeah.
And there were a lot more that actually sent in their resumes. So we had a very strong pool. And I like the candidates that we ended up with. I think they all have very distinct talents. And one thing that I really like, and it's something that I know I was very concerned with, and I know other school committee members as well, we wanted candidates that had a track record of school improvement. They had to do something special for their district to really help them out. And I think each of our candidates have done that in a certain way.
Good.
So I'm looking forward. Starting tomorrow, we start our site visits, going to their communities and seeing them on their home field.
Yeah.
And then next week, we have 3 days of them coming to Haverhill, and we get them on our home field to see how they integrate and what they observe. So, I'll be spending a lot of time dealing with school committee and the superintendent search this week and next week.
And they're all kind of close. They're not like coming from other states or anything, right?
That's right, yeah. They are Boston, Salem, and right here in Haverhill.
Great. That's great. So whether they relocate, which we hope they do, sooner or later.
Yes.
Or if they can drive from where they're currently at.
Oh, I know. We know 2 of them can drive. The Boston candidate, I did have a casual conversation with him on the phone, and it sounds like he's willing to do what it takes. He's a family man. He's got two young boys.
Yeah.
In their teens.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
But like I said, the candidates, I'm I'm excited. I'm excited to meet with them, to interview them, and choose the best
Because you know
candidate
what
for the
I
city
think is
of Haverhill.
important? Because we went through a period where we had a superintendent that didn't last. They'd spend a year, 2 or 3 at the most, and then we were looking again.
Yes.
So I'd like to, hopefully, the person that you guys choose will be somebody that makes a commitment to Haverhill and to making Haverhill schools as great as possible.
I agree, and I said that from the get-go. I think that the fit in our system is very important.
Right.
And that's something I'm going to be looking for, especially when they come here next week. I'm going to spend time each day walking with them around, and I'm going to be observing very closely their interaction with our teachers, with our administrators,
Great.
and kind of see the kind of rapport that they have.
Excellent. Hey, Paul, I got to take a break for a word from some of our underwriters, and when we come back, I have an idea that I want to throw at you. I want to do it on the radio so I can get credit for it if it ever happens.
That sounds good. And I'm one of the proud underwriters, so everyone should
That's
support
right.
WHAV.
All right, give the
we
name.
need our hometown radio station.
Who are you, one of the underwriters of?
SSJM Attorneys. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Haverhill's largest and one of their oldest law firms.
There you go. And he's right, and they are good. Hey, we are the new Open Mic. We are WHAV, and we are at 97.9 FM.
Open Mic.
The Open Mic.
Bill Masek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
Public radio for Greater Haverhill. This is 97.9 WHAV.
Catch the wave.
Would it surprise you to know radio still reaches more than 90% of people in every age group every week? It's a fact. And 97.9 WHAV FM's target audience averages 92%. While other media are cutting back, area residents turn to WHAV for local news, information, and entertainment they cannot find elsewhere. Add what has been called the halo effect of public radio, and listeners find business messages more credible and trustworthy than other forms of advertising. For a no-obligation assessment about how WHAV can help your business reach more people than all other local media combined, call 978-374-1900 or visit whav.net.
Community Spotlight.
This is a reminder of a great opportunity for all adult learners. The Labor Guild School, the oldest continuing adult labor education center, is now registering students for its spring term. Experienced labor professionals, facilitators, and lawyers make up the Guild School's faculty. Affordable classes in coalition building, strategic campaigns, conflict resolution, stewards' rights, and employment law are among the popular courses offered this term. The Labor Guild spring term begins March 12 at the Guild's new campus in Braintree. Interested students should contact the Labor Guild at 781-340-7887 or the Guild's website, laborguild.com.
Someone you know is on WHAV. To submit or read your own nonprofit announcements, click on the Contact tab at whav.net or email news@whav.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Robin Fancher.
WHAV. Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back on the new Open Mic right here at WHAV. Bill Masek and Paul Magliocchetti, who's in. Paul is an attorney and also the new vice chairperson of the school committee. You've been on the school committee, what, 10 years?
No, 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
But guaranteed 10. No, guaranteed 12.
As long as I last.
Because you get 4-year terms.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We get a breather next election.
Yeah,
we alternate.
Yeah, I wish the council had that.
With the
no.
I actually think it should be consistent all the way around. But
well, all right, we won't get into that.
We won't get into
that.
that.
Let me tell. Well, as I said, I want to tell you about my idea.
Uh-oh.
Because I think the honking school is just fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it tonight. I go in there, and one of the first thoughts that is in my head is 1 down and 3 or 4 to go.
It would be nice.
Right?
It would be fantastic.
Because I think that we have a responsibility, at least to try as soon as possible, to get the same level of technology and the cutting edge of what they have there into other schools. And I really think the technology is one of the key things. And maybe you can tell me that all the schools have the computers and all the stuff that Hunking is, but I don't think they do. And
yeah, actually, okay, I brought that issue up with Mrs. Scully.
All right, well, here you can run with my ball here.
Okay.
Here's my idea.
Okay, I'm waiting for the handoff.
Remember when we were young and in school, we didn't have a great library at all the schools, but we had a bookmobile.
That's right.
Right?
I remember those days.
How about coming up with a techmobile that has the technology for the kids? And I don't have it figured out to the last thought or what should be in it or whether the kids have to go into the bus or whatever size it might need to be to learn and be educated maybe in their classroom at a time. But maybe we could have a technology on wheels in a sense. Technology bus, technology whatever, but a tech bus that brings what's missing so that the kids are on a little bit more of an even playing field.
Yeah, well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the whole bookmobile idea was to reach out into the neighborhoods where the kids, and to bring books so they could read in their homes or whatever. Right. So they didn't have to go to the Haverhill Public Library if they didn't have the books in the school library. They was providing them access to read. So it would be great to take that concept of technology, but I think technology is a little more complicated. Although now, with the price of tablets coming down to the point where they're at, we may be at the point where we can actually, that might be feasible. So in the past, something like that would have been cost prohibitive.
Yeah. Well, just a thought, Paul, but I think
it's something to think about.
I think you might be able to pull it off. You probably need to get somebody that's a super tech person to give it serious thought and know-how.
Yeah, that would be something great for a nonprofit to work together with the schools on something like that.
Yeah, and maybe you can write a grant. Maybe the state would want us, give us the pilot program.
Sure.
To try and test it out, make it work here, and then it becomes commonplace in all the schools.
I think that's a great
all the communities.
That's a great idea, and that might even be something where we can have maybe some of our high school students work on soliciting funds or advice from Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all these tech companies.
We're going to do this. They might give you the tablets.
There you go. They might be interested in the concept, and they might say, hey, maybe we'll pilot it out here and see where it goes.
I know Apple has done a lot of gifting donations to school systems because they also can write it off. They get a benefit on the other side.
They just announced, aren't they, $300 billion? Isn't that what they're investing in the United States?
Yeah,
is that the big headline?
Right. That's right.
Oh, there you go. So this would just be a small piece of that.
This is nothing.
It's chump change.
Chump change. or as somebody else recently called money, crumbs.
Crumbs. Yes.
Oh, what a world we live in. But anyway, I thought that would be a good idea. I'm not on the school committee, so I hand it off to you.
All right. Well, we'll definitely. Right. I'll bring it up to Mrs. I don't think it's in our budget this year, but
no, it's not in the
budget.
Like
I said, but that would be a great idea to do in cooperation with other groups in the city.
Yeah.
That's where I think that could stem from, and that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Weren't the bookmobiles part of the Haverhill Public Library?
Yes.
I think that was the connection.
Right.
Because they're privately and publicly funded as well, because there's a trust fund still involved with that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So maybe you're thinking it through, and we're just we just started this 5 minutes ago.
That's
so,
right.
Just think if you put an hour in thinking about it.
Well, if I put on my...
And I'll gladly, call me if you want my help.
I can put on my Haverhill Chamber of Commerce hat.
There you go.
And,
that's right. You're
the
president of that, too?
I'm the chairman of Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce, Haverhill's greatest chamber.
Do you go
and
home?
We do so much.
Do you go home?
Very little. Very little. It makes for a happy marriage.
Yeah, that's right.
Keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah.
But no, I always make time for my wife
know
and
you
kids. They insist on it. So, but yeah, I mean, I've had a busy year. I've been involved with a lot of different things, and being the chairman of the chamber, I'm really proud of that position. I mean, the chamber, the Greater Haverhill Chamber, does so much for local businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, the networking, and if you are a business person in the city of Haverhill, the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce is really what you want to be a part of.
They are.
Because we're putting everybody together. We're like no other chamber around.
Right.
Like you have the Lawrence Chamber, you got the Newburyport Chamber, you got the Amesbury Chamber, but, everybody kind of works together on certain things, but there's something special about the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce, and magic happens when you join.
You do some good stuff.
Yes, we
Absolutely.
do. A lot of good things.
I agree. And
great
and
things
you're
happen.
looking for a new head there too.
Yes,
so
we
you're
are.
picking a new superintendent.
Yeah,
a new director for the
I'm
chamber.
hiring a new president for the chamber, a new superintendent of schools. Oh, and also we're going to be instituting a new cybersecurity practice at the law firm. We're bringing on a new attorney. His name is William Chase. He works for the FBI. He's a retired FBI agent. He was actually the former SAC leader in Boston.
Wow.
Haverhill guy that went all the way up in the FBI. And, he actually does contract work for the government. He flies back and forth to Washington. And I made a connection with him a couple months ago. And over the past 2 months, we've gotten together. And next month, we're going to be unveiling our new cybersecurity division in our law firm. We're
Very
going to be
important.
the first firm in the area to do it. And we're going to be competing with major firms in Boston, but I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. So if somebody has worked on it at your firm and they pay with a credit card, they won't have to worry about the numbers being stolen.
That's right. And our job is going to be to advise other companies on how to protect themselves as well.
Yeah, and there's also rules, so many things that even how they handle that information.
And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that Equifax fiasco, that cost billions. And all those people that all their identities got stolen.
Have you checked to see if you were?
I did. No, I wasn't on there. Thank God.
Good.
Thank God.
I haven't checked,
wasn't
but so
on
far
there.
nobody's stolen my identity. So
I haven't taken out a loan in a while, so maybe I got lucky. But it's.
Don't worry, they'll take it out for you.
I'm sure. Sure. But it is. And talking to Bill Chase, he tells us, he goes, this is one of the largest growing areas in the economy, in the whole economy over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Everyone's scrambling to deal with this issue.
I believe it. Yeah.
And we're going to be on the forefront. So Haverhill's largest and oldest
They're doing
law
everything
firm
they
is
can, but still the criminals find out a
Oh,
way.
yeah.
They have to always be like a step ahead of them.
They're not even local criminals. They're coming from
other
Korea,
countries.
China,
That's right.
So it's this whole.
Yeah.
I mean, the World Wide Web's a great thing, but it's got its own pitfalls.
I must get at least 2, if not more, emails a day that I know somebody's just trying to get
Don't throw them in the trash.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can just tell by the way they start.
Yeah.
Bang, delete.
Yep, we have a policy in the office. If something doesn't look familiar, delete it, or
Don't even open it.
or
Yeah.
we just forward it to our IT guy, and he's got a way of scanning through that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What a world we live in.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to take a break right here. I think it's a good point. We're a minute early from our it's 7:29, but we'll take our 7:30 break a little bit early, and we'll be back with Paul Magliocchetti right here on the Open Mic with Bill Masick at 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Masick and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
It's 7:30.
97.9 WHAV is the only FM station assigned to the City of Haverhill. Your membership is critical to continued operation. It's easy to join. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
CBS Radio. One moment, please. CBS Radio. What's that, madam? Oh, I'm sure I don't know why Johnny Dollar prefers blondes. I'm a brunette myself. Yes, he's on the air this Sunday. I'll get it, Marge. You know, Marge, people really enjoy radio drama. I it somewhere once that it's because it gives their imaginations a chance to work. That figures. CBS Radio. Our Sunday schedule? Oh, yes, madam. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. You're welcome.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is heard at 10 p.m. Sunday night as part of WHAV's nightly drama lineup.
Wave weather.
Here's the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Tonight clear, low around 30, light west winds. On Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 50, low 35. And the outlook for Wednesday, increasing late-day cloudiness with a chance of isolated showers developing at night. High 57, low 37. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Catch the wave. WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back. Bill Masek with my guest tonight, attorney Paul Magliocchetti. He's also the vice chair of the school committee. Who's the chair? The mayor?
The mayor's the chair.
Yeah, so you're as a school committee person, you got top seat.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. See, maybe we can get the mayor to like this idea of the tech bus.
Yeah.
You know, he would appoint the committee. You can hand that ball that I handed to you off to the mayor.
Well, there you go. I'm sure he's going to be excited to hear about that with all the things he has on his plate,
well,
too.
He'll get to it.
Yeah,
He'll get
yes,
to it.
he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely will
does.
appoint a committee. He likes appointing committees.
He does.
Yes.
And you know, I've been on some of them, and we do good work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I need to mention that we're going to be giving away the birthday cake from LBD's in Bradford Square, and that will be somebody that has a birthday in the month of March, because we're giving it away now. So in March, you can go pick up your cake on your birthday, or send your friend or relative, right?
Perfect.
Right?
At one of Haverhill's best bakeries.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. And we're Paul's father.
That's
gets
right.
bread every
Where
day.
Angelo buys his bread every day. They know him by name.
Yeah, your dad's a good guy. All right. So anyway, we're talking about everything. 978-374-1900. We would like to hear about any questions you have about schools in Haverhill. And we have an expert here that could give you a good answer, I hope, right?
I can try.
You would try, yeah.
I can try.
So if you want to call in, if you have any questions, concerns about the school system in Haverhill, Paul is here. And 978-374-1900 is the number to call. Now, looking ahead, we're almost in budget season.
Yes.
And
it is that time again.
It's supposedly going to be a tight year.
Yes.
And where do you see how's the school budget going to look?
Well, it looks like we're going to make it through this year.
Yeah.
We're always right there with the numbers. And Representative Andy Vargas was able to secure a small grant that Brian Dempsey had started. Andy was able to keep it going. So thank you, Representative Vargas, for doing that.
Where will that be used? What's it for?
Well, we kind of went over at the last school committee meeting, and it's supposed to be used for, we want to use it for professional development and things like that, but Mr. Scully has it allocated. And it's been allocated for years. So,
but that will be in the new budget coming up?
It will stay in there. We didn't lose the money, which is very important. We don't like losing anything like that.
No, we don't want to lose any money.
So sometimes it's as important to sustain as it is to gain.
You're right. Yes, absolutely.
But, it's going to be an interesting budget season because no one really knows where the numbers are going to come in this year. Everything is a little bit skewed, I think.
Well, did you see the mayor's email about health insurance costs? That was a good one. That was a good one. So we need a few more good things like that to happen.
Yes, we need some positive numbers, and hopefully, as the budget season progresses, the numbers we get from Beacon Hill and from Washington will improve.
Let's hope.
They won't be the worst case scenario.
Because and just to let people know what I'm talking about, The mayor had thought and was told that it was going to be about 7% increase for health insurance, but now it looks like maybe as little as 2% for us in Haverhill that have, for all the employees that have health insurance.
And I give the mayor a lot of credit. That's one thing he has handled masterfully is our health insurance, our municipal health insurance. He's taken a lot of heat over the past few years, and Lord knows he and I have not always agreed on things, but he has handled health insurance, I think, very well.
Right.
Not everyone's always happy because you can't always get what you want in this environment with the health insurance, but he's done a really good job at keeping costs in check, not only for the municipality, but also for the employees that rely on it so much.
He gets good value for the dollar. I mean, he actually, when he became mayor was when I got on the city council again, and I remember that 2 of the 3 representatives we had back then said that Haverhill was going to have to file for receivership. There was no way we could turn our city around. Because remember Mayor Guerin was actually thinking about going part-time at City Hall and, really doing some severe things to try and keep some of the lights on.
I remember former Mayor Waldron, who worked out of my law office. He and I used to talk all the time, and he used to try to convince the mayor to file for receivership. He was a proponent of it. He wanted him to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I loved
and
Jim
he and I had a lot of discussions.
He was a great guy.
There was only one. There'll never be another.
No. He was our first mayor under this form of government.
That's right.
When we were, you might not have even been born. I was a little kid.
I was a young lad. I was a very young lad. Yeah. But he was there. I learned a lot from Jim.
Yeah, he was a smart guy. And had a certain style.
I miss him every day. I still have his picture in my office.
Yeah, he gave me some good advice.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, he taught me everything I know about zoning law.
Yeah.
I mean, he took me under his wing. He would give me cases. He'd take me to the meetings. He gave me my lashings when I needed lashings, and he taught me how to do it the right way, how to prepare the whole way through, and I've never forgotten, and I still handle every case as if it's a Supreme Court case.
He was so successful, too. I mean, he didn't lose many, if any.
No.
I mean, he really knew how to make sure that what he was carrying in made sense and that he could sell it.
And he commanded the respect of the boards.
He did.
And the council.
Right.
Whenever he would come, it was always amazing to me when I would go with him to either the planning board or the zoning board, and the board members would ask him legal questions. Can we do this? Is this the right procedure?
Yeah.
And he would answer them truthfully.
Yeah.
And I never forget, they just respected him so much, and he always did the right thing.
Yeah, he knew
did the right thing.
what how to handle things. Yeah, he was a great guy.
And if his client had to do a continuance or whatever because there was something wrong on his side, he would just
do it.
Come out and say it.
Yeah.
He'd say, well, okay, we got to come back and do it again next month.
Yeah, I'm on the zoning committee, the review that we've been working on for years. Do you know Mark Bobrowski?
Yes, I do.
He is the city's consultant, as you know.
He wrote the book.
He wrote the book. He taught it.
He wrote the book. I've read the book.
The amazing statistic is that he has been involved with over half the communities in Massachusetts, which is 351 total.
Yeah.
So he's done over, say, 175 or more communities, help them either write or rewrite as he's helping us with the zoning.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He is the guy.
And I was at a couple of meetings where he happened to be there, and I made a point to go and introduce myself and say hi. I had seen him before at seminars, at CLEs and things, but I never really got to meet him personally. So I took the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and so I'm happy that we have that kind of a czar in a sense of knowledge.
And that's thanks to Bill Cox. Bill Cox brought him in.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing. We have a great city solicitor. Bill Cox is a great guy.
He does.
Tremendous lawyer, and he does a lot of great things for the city.
Hard-working guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's at all those negotiations, and he's doing the tough job.
But he does a good job too. Great job.
Yes, absolutely.
So see that I've always said about Haverhill. The one thing about Haverhill, what the best thing is? It's people. We just have I've never lived any place but Haverhill, but I just think that the people in Haverhill are part of the spirit and part of what makes Haverhill tick.
People are amazed because Haverhill is, 36 square miles?
Right.
60, 70, 80,000 people, depends who you talk to.
Yes, yeah. At least 62, I think.
At least 62. But, the firemen say it's really more than that.
They do, I know.
But, it's still has a small town vibe.
It does.
And, people that are new to the community, and they get it. They see it. They see it very quickly.
And they plug in.
And
us, we like that. I like that. I'm sure you do too.
I think it's great. I don't want to lose that kind of environment.
It's spirit. We got a spirit that
it's
spirit. At least I think it's good, and I'm sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, look at the council, look at the school committee, look at the people involved, our representatives. They know a lot of the history of the city, and I think that's important because it gives you a vested interest in what you're doing. It gives you the passion. It shows that you care.
It does.
It really puts you out there.
And I think we're moving in the right direction. I mean, we lived here when Haverhill hit bottom. I used to have a lot of almost on a weekly basis. Why do you live in Haverhill?
Yeah.
And you had to defend it a little bit, but we've turned a corner. We are really even through the rough times of the last 10 years. We've had a little movement going on, the redevelopment of the downtown historic district. Now it's, merging onto, morphing over to Merrimack Street. And, I have some great hope that we were going to really see that whole downtown come together.
Well,
I think
if you look at what's going on in Boston and the surrounding communities, it's becoming so expensive that the sprawl, there's nowhere left to go now. So it's hitting us.
They're going up.
It's going up.
Boston is unbelievable.
Oh, it's in the
traffic's never been worse.
Oh, it's horrible. So, we have such a great opportunity here in Haverhill, and when I was campaigning this past fall, a lot of the people that I met in the downtown area were people that came from Cambridge, Somerville, Watertown.
Right.
I mean, what they did is they cashed out of their, houses or condos there, and they bought places downtown, and they're now debt free.
They're doing well.
And they can't believe the deal they got.
Right.
They're like, this is beautiful. They're right by the river. They see, the cafes and the restaurants and everything downtown. There's always room for improvement. We got to fill all those units down by Harbor Place. We got to get those commercial spaces filled. There's work to do. But I think the foundation is there,
we're moving in the right direction.
We're moving in the right direction. We just got to generate the energy and to get into like a circular thing. And going back to how you started the program, another new school wouldn't hurt.
We're trying to get the mayor to put us into the pipeline, at least for consideration for maybe 2 of our schools.
Yeah.
And we think, there's always a third one mentioned.
Yeah.
We could mention them by name, but, I don't know if I want to, have them
we don't want to get
like
into
a dark
that.
Cloud over them or something these schools. All of our schools have great teachers, and we do the best. They're clean, and they're well organized and run. Some of them are a little older than we are, Paul, right?
Absolutely. Just a few years older than we are. But, when you think about it, this shows you, this is we have the best teachers and ESPs anywhere.
We do.
I mean, you can't say enough great things about the people that do the work in the classrooms. It doesn't matter about the building. It doesn't matter about the technology. They show up for work every day, and they do the best they can with the kids in front of them. And it amazes me because sometimes you go into buildings and you see the deficiencies with, whether it be the building or the technology or something. But the magic happens in the classroom, and they always find a way.
Right.
They find a way to overcome and to get it done. And, they have my respect, and that's why I get on the school committee bandwagon, and I fight for them every day.
Yeah, and I agree. So we're almost at quarter of, so let's take a break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to ask you to draw the cake winner for March.
Awesome.
All right, and just let everybody know that you can dial in 978-374-1900 if you have a question, a comment, a concern, anything that you'd like to have us talk about. And we are the new Open Mic. I'm Bill Masick, and my guest right now, if you haven't figured it out, is attorney and vice chairman of the school committee.
Careful,
Paul
the mayor's going to call in now.
Yeah. We're right here at 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Masick and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
Broadcasting on the Armstrong FM system, this is 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave.
Melinda's Garden Moments help gardeners create and maintain a healthy, beautiful garden with ease, inside or out and all year long. This is Melinda Myers, inviting you to tune in every weekday morning, right here on WHAV. You'll learn creative ways to grow your own vegetables and herbs while beautifying your landscape. Eco-friendly lawn care, flower garden design basics, unique container gardens, attracting birds and butterflies to the landscape, and much more. Again, please join me weekday mornings for Melinda's Garden Moment for a very environmentally friendly approach to gardening. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Masek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Back again on the new Open Mic. I'm Bill Masek, and my guest is attorney Paul Magliocchetti. He is also the vice chair of the school committee. Because that's a change in titles. You guys used to have different titles.
We used to be the president and vice president, which has been going on since I was there.
Right.
Well, actually, it used to be just the president. And then just before I got on, there was some kind of a dispute between, I think it was Scott Wood and Kerry Fitzgerald. Kerry Fitzgerald became the president, so as the way I hear it, just so they created the vice president position for Scott. I'm not sure that the whole dynamic, but the reality is the mayor's a chairman, and we have a mayor that is very interested in education and is there for just about every meeting.
Right.
He rarely misses a meeting. So, you didn't really need the extra titles.
But I think that makes sense. If he's the chairman, then you can be the vice chair.
Absolutely. But there is a little bit extra work to be done because I am the point person, so whenever there's communication with the superintendent, it comes through me.
Yeah.
And I'm always monitoring what the subcommittees and the
Well, you
negotiation
don't mind, because
teams
if
are
you
doing.
didn't have those extra things to do, you'd have to go home.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes. I become so efficient with everything I do. I don't know what to do with myself when nothing's going on.
Yeah, well,
on the
busy
weekends.
mind, busy person.
Yeah.
They say that, and I know it's true with me too, because I'm like that. I've always said I need a hat rack beside my desk because I do different things. But I love it, and I always say that. Or the old saying is, if you want something done, ask a busy person.
Yeah.
And I think it's true. Somehow we fit those extra things in to our schedule and get them done.
That's right. If we're not that busy, it doesn't get done because you have idle time, so you end up procrastinating.
That's it.
So the busier you are, the more you get accomplished.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we are getting close to having to draw a name out of our hat for the March birthday winner of the LBD cake. I think it's either vanilla or chocolate. It's a 7-inch. You go pick it out yourself, and everything's wonderful.
All right. Well, my mother-in-law, Bonnie Holman, her birthday is in March.
Really? Yeah.
And we're going to be going to visit her. So it'd be nice if we could get the cake and fly it down to Charleston, South Carolina.
That would be nice. You think it would make it that far?
I don't know.
Or would you guys be in there?
I don't know. Me and Lucas and I might get at it on the way down, especially from that bakery. It's a great bakery.
It is. That's right. It's Angelo Magliochetti's favorite bakery.
Absolutely.
He buys his bread every day.
Buys his bread every day. Every
Paul's
single
father.
day. Every single day.
All right. So, what else? What do you think about the charter school? And the news is, and Tim took it away, I think. Oh, no, it's right here. Did you know about this vote?
Yeah, the innovation school.
Yeah,
it got voted down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you think that's okay? A lot of people think the charter school was a great thing. Where do you? Is this a tough question?
I support the parents. I'm always supporting the parents. I think that's. I just talked about how great the teachers are and the ESPs in the classrooms, but we also got to think about the parents, the taxpayers.
Right. Absolutely.
They're the ones that elect us, and they have us do our job.
Right.
And there's so many arguments for and against charter schools. That was a little different because that was the Horace Mann Charter School.
Right.
So it didn't really have the same financial impact as the traditional charter schools do.
Right.
But it did have its own autonomy, if you will. So, I always try to support the parents, but at the same time, the decision was made that it was up to the teachers. It was up to the teachers throughout the city. And you have to respect their vote.
Right,
I mean,
and that's what they voted to take out the charter school. And now they don't want the innovation school.
Yeah, they just want to make it part of the system.
So that it's all the same. Everybody should
all
be getting
blended
the same treatment and education, and it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's a complicated issue.
It is.
It's one of those that no one really wins, I guess.
Right.
Because you're always going to have disenfranchised people. Either way.
Right.
Either way, you're going to have people that feel disenfranchised.
Yeah.
So you just got to kind of go with it. And, Mr. Scully has said it repeatedly that those families that are there with children, their families can continue to go there, even though if they're not in that particular district.
Right.
Which gives them some solace, I guess. But let's see what happens. Let's see how that Silver Hill integrates with the Constantino.
Right.
And also the Bartlett. But, we talked a little bit about the budget earlier, and I know that the city council is on the performance-based budget this year.
That's right. John Mitchison, give him credit. He and Andy Vargas had a study done by Brandeis. They came in, they interviewed me, and they interviewed a number of other people, and they came up with an analysis and a recommendation, and it was performance-based budgeting. And it just might work. It might help, because now we're going to focus in, and the mayor has agreed with John. They met last Friday. The mayor has agreed to give it a try on a pilot program, so that we're not going to try to get the whole city working on performance-based budgeting, but we're going to select some of the key areas where we think we would like to see the best improvement, the biggest improvement. And that's where it's going to all kind of ripple along and take effect at some point. But it'll be in this coming's budget. There will be select categories where we will look at a problem and say it's the opioid crisis, and know what our stats are for now, and select something reasonable for improvement, and then also try to come up with either people or resources to make that improvement, and maybe allocate some funds specifically for that improvement.
Target the funds directly at the problem.
And then we look a year from now and see if we've made some, if we hit the target goal, or if we need to try it again for another year, we didn't quite make it, or if we didn't get a real good, a decent improvement, then maybe we try to look at another alternative. But what it is it's analyzing a little deeper rather than doing what we've been doing consistently year after year after year, and that's just funding people and occupations in a sense. So now we're going to try to concentrate a little bit on goals.
Yeah, and I really hope that we end up allocating some more funds for policing. I think the police department in Haverhill, I mean, you talk about the teachers doing a great job. What these police are able to do with the size of the force that they have.
Yeah, I agree.
They're another, talk about unsung heroes.
I think
you see a cop, you give them a pat on the back, because
absolutely.
Are working their tails off, and they're everywhere. And you know what? They are so key to what happens downtown and our development all around the city, because they really, considering the staffing they have and the amount of area they have to cover, I think they do an each and every one of them.
We have a great chief, but also all of his
all the way down
people, right down to the patrolmen,
all the way down.
They all do an incredible job. Again, it's like what I was saying about Haverhill. For whatever reason, we get a great person, and they really put their heart and soul into whatever they're doing, whether it's teaching, whether it's we have great people.
I go downtown and I see my friend Sal and Dana at Battlegrounds Coffee downtown.
Yeah.
I'm a regular there, and so are a lot of the police officers. But you go in there's always a police officer or two, either downtown nearby or in there grabbing a coffee, getting to know the people in there, which is part of police. they're really becoming the fabric through all the events that happen at Battlegrounds. They just had Coffee with a Cop this weekend, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And you drive through some of the rougher areas and the police are talking to people on the porch or on the street. So they're actually trying to develop a rapport.
Absolutely.
A positive rapport to try and keep things better.
Yep. Last time I was at Benedetti's Deli, home of the Rocket, there was a police officer in there, and these young cops, the one thing that really impresses me is their personality. They're very personable. They're easy to talk to. I don't know if it's part of their training now. I don't know if it's just the luck of the draw. But they're very engaging, and I really think that's key, especially in today's environment where relationships with people is so key. They're not the hard-nosed cops we remember from days gone by. They're
different.
Yeah, they are different in a good in a good way.
Yeah, and I think they accomplish more that way.
Absolutely.
We've got, I think, 10 or 11 new recruits that are going to be, the chief's going to be choosing or chose last week. So we're going to have more people coming because people leave, retire. So you're always, looking to fill slots. But the mayor did approve new police officers in this budget. And we plan, I think, to do at least 4 or 5 for the next 4 or 5 years each year, so that we can really grow that force.
Well, that would be great, because the last time I talked to the chief, I think the number we needed to hit was 130, and I think we're right around 98,
We're 105,
99.
I think, now.
We're over 100 right now?
Yeah, I think that's what's
before people
what can
retire.
Be. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That, if you had all the people hired and working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we still got to bridge that gap.
We got to get right. We got to keep climbing. But you know what? The other thing that Chief DeNaro and the force has done, they're using technology to the max. They've got cameras, their computers, and they have technology, software that there's so much information that the old police officer didn't have.
Absolutely.
So in a sense, that helps. Doesn't replace having more people on the street, but I think it helps them.
But
we got to draw that.
Just to touch on that cybersecurity practice that I was talking to you about. Some of that has to do with videotaping and recording sound, because a lot of people don't realize you can take a video of people in a business, but you can't have sound without their specific approval.
That's right.
So disclosing to them and getting their approval. So people need to understand things like that. But so just a little cross.
But there's hardly any place you go that you're not on camera.
You're on camera everywhere.
Even
everywhere.
here, this is radio,
now.
right?
Yeah.
There's the camera, Paul.
There's the podcast. There's the monitor right there.
All right, let's draw the birthday. I'm going to let you draw a hat full of names that have come in this month, and you just pick one down at the bottom, on the top, wherever you want to go. All right, and the winner is
Donald Dillon.
Donald Dillon.
22 Spec Street, Bradford, Massachusetts.
Okay, does this have his age? No?
Nope.
Okay, well, Donald Dillon, congratulations with your March birthday. You now have a cake free of charge at LBD's Bakery in Bradford Square.
One of Haverhill's finest bakeries.
Right, could be the finest.
Go there, everyone. Go there.
All
grab something. Grab a great loaf of bread. Grab some Italian pastries. They're great at everything they do.
There's an experienced eater right there.
There, you know it. I love my sweets.
All right.
And they're also members of the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce.
There you go.
You can't go wrong. That's right.
Wrong. Right. We're wrapping up. We're getting close. Any last words you want to say or anything?
Well, no, like I said, just to get back to the public service announcement that I was trying to make earlier, any families or parents that are concerned about what's going on in the schools as far as the flu or any other, viruses or anything like that, the Centers for Control and Mass Department of Public Health, great resources to things you can do at home. And we're looking at that to see what we can do in our schools. We're doing everything we can to keep our schools clean and safe for all the children in the city of Haverhill.
That's great to hear. And if they want any of those details, they can go to the school committee website? Or is it the city of
Haverhill Public School website.
Haverhill Public School website. Or they can go right on the the websites of the
Centers for Disease Control and Massachusetts Department of Public Health.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you
Get a lot
for
of that
coming in,
information.
Paul.
Thank
It
you,
was
Bill.
A
It's
pleasure.
always
You're
a pleasure,
welcome
sir.
anytime.
Thank
Anytime,
you.
especially when you have important information like that, flu information.
You got it.
All right.
I know where to find you.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, at least on Monday nights. Right here at the new Open Mic. I'm Bill Masick. That was attorney Paul Magliocchetti, who has been with us for the last hour. Great information, great conversation. That's what we always have here on Monday nights between the hours of on the new Open Mic on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Join Bill Masick live on the new Open Mic again next Monday night at 6. The opinions expressed on the Open Mic Show are not necessarily those of 97.9 WHAV FM, writers, or affiliated stations. The Open Mic Show came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom.